The Wild are a playoff team, and as we have seen, that means that anything is possible. Let's get you a quick look at the team we are rolling with. Top line will be Niederreiter, Kopitar, and Zuccarello. Second line, Ehlers, Nielsen with Vanek, Reeder, Draisaitl, Hansen. Eller with Antropov. We went with best lines, and it put him in over Ponikarovsky. They are with Ronald Kennins. Defensively, it's Streit, Yossi, Seidenberg, Mirko Mueller, and Spiza with Yannick Weber. The starting goaltender, Grubauer. In the AHL, things are looking okay. We haven't gone with best lines, which means quite a few decent players are scratched, but we're going with players that still have potential as they enter the playoffs. Fiala, Berchke, Sprong, Kuhnhackl. Defensively, kind of the same thing with Puzic and Montana. Goalies, though, it's looking good. Ludovic Weber, already an 82 overall, will be with the NHL team next season. And Max Franzreb also looking pretty damn good. So we've had a really good year in terms of progression, obviously with the NHL team making the playoffs. And down in the AHL, they've had a very good season because of the veterans that were on that team. And that has allowed some of the other players to make some good strides. 93 offense to their 84. They have us beat in defense, and they have us beat with the goaltending. Louis Eriksson is their current captain. Let's get a look at what the Canucks have to offer. Will it be any better than what we had to offer at this stage? So as you can see, their top line, their captain, Louis Eriksson. I don't know if the Sedins retired or if they were traded, but Louis Eriksson is there with Bo Horvat and Emerson Edom. Not the best top line ever. Alex Burrows, Marcus Granlund, and Jake Virtanen, the second line. Why Virtanen isn't on the top line, I have no idea. From there, it goes downhill. Michael Chaput, an 80 overall. Brendan Sutter, an 84. And Derek Dorsett, an 80. The fourth line, Jason Megna, a 78. Joseph Labatt, I'm going to guess, is a 77. And then they have a defenseman, Andre Padan, a 78, in their lineup. How are the Canucks a playoff team? I truly don't know. Defensively, they have Edler with Ben Hutton. That's a decent pairing. Goodbranson with Tanev. Another decent pairing. And then Treyamkin and Stetcher. One hell of a combo for the Vancouver Canucks. The goaltender is 83 overall Markstrom with Thatcher Demko as the backup. Biega and Nilsson are the scratched players, so no injuries. On paper, we are absolutely a better team than the Vancouver Canucks, but they are a playoff team. One way or another, they are a playoff team. And now we just simply have to hope that we are the better team when it matters. So let's do this. It is game one against the Canucks in Vancouver, so they finished in a top three spot in the Pacific Division. First period, and we are up 2-0 early. Niederreiter and Tobias Reeder beating Markstrom. He outshot them 12-4, and that is a very good start. Second period, what's going to happen? And Thomas Vanek adds to the lead. It is 3-0 entering the third period. They caught up in shots there, 21-14. That held for the first 3 minutes of the third period. A power play for the Canucks, and they get the goal. It is Bo Horvat, and that is the only one that they get on that power play. Halfway through the period, still up 3-1. Things are still looking good for Minnesota, although this could turn at the drop of a dime. Burrows gets a goal, and thankfully, by the skin of our teeth, we survive. It's a 3-2 victory in game one. How fucking weird is it to see the Vancouver Canucks on the other end of the ice? But Grubauer with 27 saves. We take game one, start to at least start to neutralize their home advantage. And things are looking good here. We'll move right in to game two. Hopefully we can eliminate them as soon as possible, because it is just a little bit heartbreaking to have to, see that logo fall after all we did with them. But here we go. Game two, first period, and Troy Stetcher with the goal. That one hurt. Second period, Jake Virtanen with the goal, and that sets up this third period. We're down 2-0. They have a power play. They can't get a goal, thankfully, but then Virtanen scores again. Oh, boy, we're down 3-0 Here in Game 2, the Minnesota Wild struggling for offense, and that doesn't look like it is going to change. Here in this game, we get shut out by Markstrom, a 29-save shutout for Markstrom as my controller disconnects. So bear with me here. We go over to the 3 stars for Tannen, Stetcher, and Markstrom, the 3 stars of the game. And this series is tied at 1 apiece as we go back home to Minnesota for our first playoff game in this series. The Iowa Wild also moving in on a playoff spot. This is their last day of the season, but all attention is on the Wild here. A very important Game 3. Let's do this. First period, and we are scoreless, so we'll move right into the second period where Thomas Vanek takes over. 2 goals in just over a minute, and that gives us a massive advantage. They only had 10 shots heading into the third. Vanek gets his hat trick, playing up to his full potential. We couldn't get anything in the game, or in the second game of this series, but Thomas Vanek gets a hat trick. Mark Streit adds another one. The Canucks struggling for shots, although as I say that, they're averaging about 1 a minute. And that will do it, though. A 4-0 shutout, this time in Grubauer's favor, as the Minnesota Wild take a 2-1 series lead. Thomas Vanek with a gigantic game. I bet Wild fans are wishing he played that way before he was recently bought out. The Iowa Wild will play the Lake Erie Monsters, and we will play the Vancouver Canucks here in Game 4 on home ice. First period, and we are down 1-0. It is Troy Stetcher again. Ugh, that hurts. Second period, and we are still down. Emerson Edom with the goal, proving me wrong as to questioning his spot on the top line, although Jake Virtanen did have a really good first couple of games. We're down 2-0. We need goals or we're going back to Vancouver. Tied up. Zuccarello with the goal on Markstrom. We still need another. Can we get it from Kopitar? Can anybody else from that top line contribute? Roman Josi maybe, and it's Labatt, the 4th liner, with the empty netter. And we drop Game 4 by the score of 3-1. Another impressive game from Markstrom, who I believe when we ran the Canucks, we had already handed over the net to Thatcher Demko, I believe. I honestly can't remember at this point. My God, that was a while ago. Can you tell I'm not over the Vancouver series and that was just a hell of a lot of fun? But I guess I have to get over it because it is Game 5 against the Canucks in Vancouver. And I want this team, I want our team, the Minnesota Wild, to progress, and we'll see if they can. First period of Game 5, and we are in just a tiny bit of trouble. Marcus Granlund and Ben Hutton, probably not happy that I traded them. Second period, and we are still not on the board, and that sets up this third period. Once again down, and we really need the offense to wake up. Ben Hutton gets another goal, and that is going to put us in a very, very bad spot because we are going to be down in this series. Granlund gets another one. I'm just going to hit B to finish the game. We lose 4-0. Another very impressive performance from Markstrom. Hutton and Granlund turn it on. Now our backs are against the wall. We are down 3-2 in this series. I honestly don't know what we could change, what we should even change at this point. I'm not even going to bother with the team meeting. I don't know what to do. Niederreiter has 2 points, 2 points for Kopitar. Everybody is pretty much underperforming. I mean, Vanek had that one really good game, but yeah, pretty much everybody's dead silent, and that's pretty much the worst fear come true. I was hoping Grubauer would have a slightly lower save percentage so I could put in Gudlevskis. I can't. Grubauer is doing all right. I mean, he's not doing amazing. He's not in a run of form right now that's going to lead us to playoff success, but the team isn't in general. So let's do this. It is Game 6 on home ice. We have to win the next 2 games or we are out in the first round at the hands of the Canucks, which would be tragic. But here we go. First period of Game 6, and we are down 2-1. Chaput and Eriksson with the goals. Eller gets one back on Demko, not Markstrom. Very interesting. Second period, scoreless, and that sets up this third. Let's get right into it. Demko is in goal, and Kopitar gets a goal on him. That is huge. Eriksson gets another goal on Grubauer. If we get eliminated by Thatcher Demko, who didn't play for all of this series, again, I don't know why he is in, but we have 7 minutes to go, or we're getting eliminated by the Vancouver Canucks. In one hell of a case of irony, we have 40 seconds to go, and we're out. We are out. That is it. The Minnesota Wild crash out of the playoffs, losing in 6 games to the Vancouver Canucks, who were absolutely weaker on paper than we were. I need to see if they put in Thatcher Demko just to fuck with us, or if Markstrom is injured. Let's take a look. Markstrom's not injured. They put in Thatcher Demko just to fuck with us. God damn it. Oh, that's a kick in the teeth to get eliminated by the last team you controlled. We will go to the scouting assignments. I guess we'll scout that one German forward for 6 weeks. In a way, it doesn't matter because, of course, we are limited. So we're just trying to hopefully take whoever we can in that first round. The Iowa Wild swept their first round series, so that's good. Although they lost game 1. We should probably pay attention to them, should we not? We'll keep Berchke out of the lineup because who cares? He's AHL potential. They are playing the Grand Rapids Griffins at the moment, and they are up 2-1. So let's see what they can do here. They go up 3-1, and they win their series in 5 games. So the Iowa Wild are going on to the conference final, so that is good. They will play the Manitoba Moose in the next round. Winnipeg's farm team, they are down 3-1 through the first 4 games. I do not like their chances. They win and then they lose, so the Iowa Wild fall just short of a Calder Cup final appearance. And overall, this season ends in pretty big disappointment as both teams make the playoffs and both teams crash and burn. The Winnipeg Jets with the clean sweep, the Stanley Cup and the Calder Cup for the Winnipeg Jets. God damn it. That's, it's a hell of an accomplishment. But as you can see, the Iowa Wild with 52 wins on the season, the Moose with 40. But in the end, it came down to playoff form, which we just didn't have. I mean, yes, we could have gone with probably a little bit of a stronger lineup for the Wild, but I was still hoping for better things. But of course, the Winnipeg Jets, probably the big story, back-to-back Stanley Cups for the Jets in this series. Unbelievable. Sagan wins the Art Ross, Price the Hart. The Norris goes to Dustin Byfuglien, Lady Byng to Michael Dal Colle, as well as the Calder. The Conn Smythe goes to Blake Wheeler, the Vezina, the Price. Allmark gets the Jennings in Buffalo, Jared Cowan. The Masterton, Bergeron wins the Selke, the Lindsay to Price, and John Tavares with the Rocket Richard. Of course, the Calder Cup to the Manitoba Moose. Brian Flynn picking up some hardware. Anas picking up some hardware. He signed with the Flyers. Larson wins the Defenseman of the Year award. That's now 2 years in a row. The Iowa Wild have had the AHL's best defenseman. Ludovic Weber, the goaltender of the year, also following in the footsteps of Kristers Gudlevskis. So that is interesting, although certainly disappointing given the outcome. But there you have the awards. That is it for Season 2. It ends in another disappointment, but I can say, and I hope I speak for you as well, I am looking forward to the next draft because now this is the season. I'm not going to re-sign people. We're going to get rid of whoever we can and really go with the youth. Guys like Marcel Gottsch, guys like Christian Ehrhoff, 34 and up, are gone if they don't retire. But yeah, that is it, guys, for Season 2. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, it was pretty quick, simming the season in one episode and losing in round 1 in the next. But we will see what is next for this team in the next episode as we go through the Season 2 draft. I will see you guys then. As always, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and to continue following this series if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. I step into the middle there, and then their computer decided to just stand right in the slot, which would have been nice if our computer did that on their goal. Yeah, it did not.
Good face-off win.
Oh, thank God. There we go. There we go. Nice job getting on that.
How come in team celebration? Do we have to unlock that too?